Hannah Murray on TRE in the afternoon. On TRE in the afternoon.
Good afternoon. Joining us on the line now is Kim Lengling. She's an author and host of the podcast Let Fear Bounce, where she spotlights people who make a positive difference in the world. In her latest book, Nuggets of Hope, Cultivate Kindness, she shares practical tips for integrating kindness into your daily life, regardless of how busy or stressed you might feel. Welcome to the show, Kim.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I've been looking forward to this.
Oh, I've been looking forward to it too. Thanks for joining us. So I love the sound of your podcast, Let Fear Bounce. I like the title as well. Where did that come from?
Well, that came when, the pandemic hit and the world seemed to have shut down. And I found myself at home, as millions and millions of others did, and thought, there's so much fear floating around in the air and being fed to us. At least that was my perception through the media and everything. Thought, no, I'm not letting this fear land on me. I've got a life to live and things to do. So the phrase came to mind saying, I got to let this bounce. And then I thought, I'm going to look into how you do a podcast, because I had no idea. I didn't know what I was doing, but I thought, let's do it anyway. And so I did, and I decided to call the podcast Let Fear Bounce, and I invite folks to come on and share any fears that they face or that they have faced and they've overcome or they're working through and they're thriving despite it all. So that's how it came about.
Oh, I love it. A great concept. Can you think of any particular highlights that you can share with us, guests with really interesting stories?
I've had, as a young man, his name is Stuart Carlson. He's a blind concert violinist and a composer. And he doesn't let fear or the quote unquote disability stop him from, attaining his goals. And he's an amazing composer and musician. And I was able to, and he also has autism. So it was amazing to talk to him, and to hear his story and how he shared it. And his music is just amazing and beautiful. And then there was another gentleman. He's a Emmy award-winning documentary producer. And his documentaries all touch on really tough stories and really tough stuff, the stuff that people don't like to think about because it's upsetting. And talking to him and how he goes about facing that and all these other people's fears that they're currently going through that might also land on him a little bit, because he's really getting down deep into their stories. And those two right there, they stand out to me. I think they always will, because they're just fascinating conversations and amazing individuals.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Must be very inspiring speaking to these people.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. I've been doing it for 4 years now. I think I just surpassed 300 episodes. And I can honestly say each person has touched my heart in a specific way, and has also, enhanced my life and has been just a blessing. So, yeah, I'm going to keep on doing it as long as I can.
Yeah, nice one. So tell us about your new book, Nuggets of Hope. Why did you decide to talk about kindness?
Oh, my goodness. The world needs it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The way I look at it, the world needs it. I've been working on this for a couple of years, actually, and the Nuggets of Hope concept came because the word hope, I don't know if you've ever had it happen with you, but the word started showing up everywhere. I was hearing it, I was reading it, I was seeing it on billboards, no matter where I was or what I was doing. And I thought, okay, that's a message. I'm supposed to do something with hope, but what? And the messages kept coming. You got to give hope. And I'm going, I don't know how to give hope. Look at this world. It's going to, as my grandma used to say, to go into hell in a handcart. And then I was like, all right, I guess I'm supposed to do this. So I was trying to figure out what to do. And I actually found online, I bought polished stones that have the word hope engraved on them. They're beautiful. So I thought, okay, I'll just start carrying those around, and I'm just going to drop them places. So when I'm on my errands, I was just kind of tucking them in places and thought, okay, there, I'm giving nuggets of hope. And whoever finds them, and good for them.
Nice.
But it kept coming to me that, no, you got to do more. So what came to me was you actually have to approach people and offer them hope. And so for the last 2.5 years, I carry those little stones with me. And when I get a very strong feeling that, oh, that person needs hope today, I literally walk up to a stranger and I simply say, excuse me, ma'am, or excuse me, sir, I'd like to offer you a nugget of hope today. And I hold out my hand. Without fail, they have held out their hands out as well and accepted the nugget. Without fail, I'm a total stranger. And I have had so many reactions and emotions from people. I've had, people laugh, nervous laugh, or people cry. I've had, people just turn and automatically hug me and say thank you. I've had anger. I've had, an older gentleman yell and swear at me in Walmart, asking, what the hell is hope going to do for him? And so, I'm meeting these people wherever they're, right where they're at in that moment in their life. And they're unexpectedly getting a nugget of hope. And so I decided, when I got home, because, some of the encounters just left me in tears. And when I would get home, I would write it out, because that's how I process. I would write it out. And then I decided, after quite a few of them, I'm like, you know what? These should be shared. I don't know these people's names, so I'm not, sharing any personal stuff. I'm just sharing the encounter. And I think that maybe others need to see that. And then also I just offer little practical tips and advice in there of, my goodness, it doesn't cost anything to be kind. A smile can show kindness. And you don't have to go out of your way, to be kind. It doesn't take up a lot of your time to be kind. And the world needs it. And so I decided to release it at this time, which I'm in the United States. We just had our election, and I knew it would be, a little rife with emotion over here. Yeah. And I thought, what a good time to get this book out, Nuggets of Hope, Cultivate Kindness, because the world needs more of it.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. It's a lovely story. And one can only imagine how these nuggets of hope that you gave out to people will have affected them. As you say, a lot of them were obviously going through something, and they'll probably never forget that, and have probably shared it with so many people. You'll never guess what happened to me. This woman just came up to me, and I mean, it's lovely. It's spreading so much joy and love and hope.
Right. Yeah. I want to be, I've said for several years, I'm like, I'm just a pebble tosser. I want to be that one that tosses that pebble out and causes that ripple on that big old pond, because those ripples all eventually end at a destination. And I won't necessarily know where. Like you said, they might be sharing it with someone. I did have someone approach me and tell me that they had received a nugget of hope, and they remembered me talking about it, and they wondered if it was something that I had handed out. And I went, oh my goodness, yes. So the person who received it, because I don't know these people, they in turn shared it with someone else. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is just so awesome. So, yeah. Hopefully it just keeps going. I want to have millions of my little nuggets out there.
Yeah, that's really lovely that people have passed it on. Amazing. So have you had anything like this happen to you? It's lovely that you're doing it for other people. Have you experienced, not people giving you a nugget of hope necessarily, but acts of kindness that have really made a difference to your day or even your life?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I'm a veteran, and I live with PTSD due to an experience that I had while serving. And the veteran post that I am a lifetime member of, and they're all my brothers and sisters. A few of the brothers, I was really, really struggling. And a few of my brothers approached me and said, we don't know what you're going through, but we recognize the signs. And you got to go talk to somebody. And if you don't, we're going to drag you kicking and screaming. And I was at a very, very dark spot, very dark, frightening to even think about how dark it was back then. And I told those guys in very colorful language I didn't need their help and to leave me alone and bleep, bleep, bleep. And they said, nope. not gonna happen. And it was a couple weeks later that they literally did drag me to go talk to someone, a counselor. And I will be forever thankful for that. Forever thankful. And they are still, that was, close to 20 years ago. And they are forever a part of my family, and I'm a part of theirs. And they're Vietnam vets, and they call me, the kid, and I'm their little sister. And it's just that right there was such a pivotal moment in my life. And I thought, you know what? I can take my darkness and turn it into sparks of light and toss that out there into the world somehow, some way. And this is how it's ending up all these years later with nuggets of hope.
Oh, how amazing. What a wonderful story. So if you could give people one little tip today, apart from buying the book and getting all the information that you give in the book and all the beautiful anecdotes from you and from other people, what can people kind of do today to change or to implement into their life in terms of kindness?
First off, I want to remind everybody that the world is a better place because they're in it. And knowing that when you walk out your door each day, just smile at someone, because you have no idea what someone else's life is like. Everybody puts a mask on when we walk out of our door. Why don't we take those masks off and actually see people, not just pass them by or look at the ground, or, take your eyes off your phone for a minute, folks. Look up. See what's around you, see the people, truly see them, and just offer a smile. You have no idea the difference that could possibly make to that person.
Yeah, it's so true. So true. Some great advice, Kim. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been really lovely to have you with us on the show. And I can recommend for people to find your podcast, Let Fear Bounce, and also get a copy of your book, Nuggets of Hope, Cultivate Kindness. It's available on our website, TRE.radio, and it's by Kim Lengling, who we've been chatting with today. Kim, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thanks so much. It's been a blessing. Take care. Have a wonderful day.
You too.